What's up, guys? Welcome to Box to Box Football, and we're back here with another Champions League reaction. Quarterfinal, second legs, all done and dusted. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the first game. Not the first game, but the first game today. So today's a Wednesday. So the first game, I won't say more meaningful one, but probably the biggest game out of the lot. Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Finished 0-0 at Anfield. Real Madrid go through on away goals, beating Liverpool 3-1. But Jack, tell me what you think of the tie in general, but mainly the second leg.
So Liverpool screwed themselves over because of the first leg. Like, I hate to kind of state the obvious, but I feel like I kind of need to repeat that. You know, Liverpool put themselves in a position where they were 3-1 down after the first leg. Now, they got the away goal, you'd say, okay, that's fine. But usually getting that away goal, you want a 2-1. If you're going to lose, you want a 2-1. A 3-1, there's a gap there. There's a gap there so that when you do come back home, you need to beat this top quality team. What did I think of the game? I think that going into it, Real Madrid knew they would need some sort of a miracle to actually come out and kind of win the tie and go through, because I think the moment Liverpool get in a position when they think, hey, maybe we can make the semis here, the moment they have to actually defend, the moment they have to kind of take on somebody like a Benzema, maybe Isco pulls his finger out, right? Some of their kind of top quality players, that midfield, people can talk about it aging as much as they want. They can still do bits for that team. Solid defensive work from this Real Madrid team. Solid defensive work. And Jamie Carragher on the CBS coverage made a really, really good point. We talk about Pep Guardiola because of this, tiki-taka. I know that's really boring, but his possession-based style, shifting from side to side, creating that to make kind of trap a team in when they have the ball. Jurgen Klopp, off the ball, the press, da-da-da-da-da. Sarri has Sarri ball. There's all these kind of managers who have these certain styles to them. The reason why I don't think Zinedine Zidane gets as much credit as a manager as maybe he should is purely because he doesn't really have like a one-off distinguished style. He's a very malleable manager. Keep in mind the players he was missing today and the performance that he brought out from this Real Madrid team. It wasn't a Galactico, hey, we're going to come out and beat people kind of showing here. But they got the exact result that they needed to get against this Liverpool team. And defensively, without Ramos and Varane, Militao and Nacho still looked really, really good. But anyway, Real Madrid deservedly through. I'm excited to see them against Chelsea.
Yeah, Jack, I just want to first touch on that Zidane topic you brought up there. Me and Jed were actually speaking about it in like you mentioned the exact same thing right there. Right. I was saying that why does Zidane not get the praise Guardiola gets? In fact, the matter is that Guardiola kind of revolutionized football and he's known for the tiki-taka stuff, while Zidane don't really have a style of play. Zidane is a manager's style of play. Do you know what it is, Jack? It's winning. He wins. His I think he averages after every 22 games a trophy. Something stupid like that. He is a pure winner. And I feel like we somehow, some way need to start giving this guy his flowers. You know what I feel about him as a football player? My favorite midfielder of all time. But as a manager, he might be even better. Like, just what he's doing with the Real Madrid team. I always talk about Jed because he's a big Real Madrid fan. We speak about Real Madrid all the time. And the amount of times he's telling me, James, our season's over. So many injuries, 53 injuries this season. Zidane never blinked an eyelid. And to have them in pole position in the league and also in the semi-final of a Champions League, it just shows you what type of guy he is. But just to touch on the game there, a solid display from Real Madrid to an instinct. I feel like Liverpool did this to themselves. Yes, in the first leg, but also in this second leg, Jack, they had some huge opportunities in the first half. All Liverpool needed is just one goal. One goal and the whole tide changes. And especially when Salah goes through in the first 2 minutes and he fluffs his lines. He scores there, and I'm sorry, we're looking at a completely different game. Gini Wijnaldum also had a big chance. Thibaut Courtois was... there was a time when I was thinking, like, is he might have lost his powers, but he seems like he's back to his absolute consistent better past 2 seasons for Real Madrid. He has been tremendous. And I just look at the whole, like, the way the game was set up. Like, after them chances went, and then as the game went on, it just felt quite pedestrian-like, and it felt like the Liverpool season throughout. It was just chance after chance, pass after pass, cross after cross, not doing enough to get yourself back in the game. And Real Madrid, I think after the 60th minute, they felt solid, they felt fine, and they deservedly went through. Game against Chelsea, I can't wait to see it. But Jack,
James, as well, you make a point there about, I think it was actually maybe even before we started recording, about that pedigree. There are some guys in this Real Madrid team. There are still a lot who were there part of the treble, or at least won one Champions League, but there's a lot of players there who haven't kind of earned their stripes yet. But when they look up at the scoreboard and they see that emblem and they see that name and they see their white kit, and there's just a feeling you get where there's a certain level of, hey, I'm playing for Real Madrid. I'm in the Champions League. I should be in the semis. I should be in the final.
I think experience is one of the most overrated things and aspect in football, but it really does matter. It also does matter, in a way. But you see this Real Madrid team. I also believe in history, and the history behind Real Madrid, the history behind what the majority of this team has done. It carries a big pedigree towards like where they are today. Their ability to not panic after losing your two centre backs on the eve of this game, and you can only concede one goal against a Liverpool team. I just think, it just shows you the pedigree of the team. But let's move on and let's talk about the other game today, and that was Borussia Dortmund against Manchester City. Borussia Dortmund lose 2-1 to City in back-to-back games. City go through 4-2 on aggregate. But Jack, what do you think about the game today?
I think City did a good job at stopping Haaland over both legs, really. We didn't really see too much of him. We saw glimpses, but there was no kind of clear-cut. Haaland didn't have as many clear-cut chances to score as, say, Neymar did in the PSG game, just as an example of comparison. Bellingham, great. Seeing a 17-year-old English kid score a goal in a Champions League quarterfinal against Man City and Pep Guardiola, I'm here for it. I'm all over it. The penalty, super soft. For me, not a penalty. That's one of those ones where if the ref doesn't give it and VAR wants him to look at it, it's not clear and obvious for him to then give it as a penalty. So I think they got sorry, as I dropped my phone here. I think they got super, super lucky with the penalty. The Foden goal, great hit. Maybe the keeper should do better, but end of the day, it's a great hit. You've got to shoot. You have to buy a ticket to win the raffle, whatever those kind of BS football cliches are. The thing that really is a takeaway for me here, Pep still, I get this sense that he's trying to overthink it and he's kind of backing himself into a corner. Whereas if he just puts his team out to play, I don't think he gets beaten. I don't think City were convincing over either leg. And I think if Dortmund came to play and were even somewhat respectable defensively over both legs, I think Dortmund would go through here. And this is a side who are 7 points off Frankfurt in the Bundesliga, not going to make the Champions League next year, and are probably going to lose 2 or 3 of their best players because of that fact. So as much as, yes, it's great for City, and hey, it's great they're in this semi, and we're going to see City against PSG, we're going to see the kind of the oil,
the battle of the oil money, as I say.
Oil money, like, great, hey, great. They don't fully deserve it. It's not been convincing.
Yeah, you're right. It hasn't been convincing, but I also have to give Man City credit. Them going 1-0 down against this Borussia Dortmund team, and especially looking back at the history of what happened to Man City on so many occasions in the Champions League, it's very easy for this team to cave in and just say it's a bit too much. We're not sure what to do. The penalty, it's a 50-50. Yeah, if he gives it, you're not crazy. You're not gonna go crazy about it. If he doesn't give it, you're not like it's a 50-50. But based on the run of the game, Man City deserved an equalizer. Kevin De Bruyne hit the post. He had another great chance that was blocked off the line. Phil Foden had chances. I just felt overall City did enough, to get the equalizer. And then I'm thinking okay, can Borussia Dortmund comes back in? Max Hummels had a big chance to score, missed it. But then it's like, last 10 minutes, could they actually do something? And Phil Foden with a huge goal to really wrap it up for them. And you've seen the celebrations when he scored there, when he runs to the manager. You've seen the relief from the team. It was almost like,
special moment.
Like special moment. But then moments can also lead towards the Champions League. But also, just talking about Erling Haaland, you could say Man City kept like kept him quiet, but I feel like he's been quiet for a few weeks now. He went away with Norway both games. I think all 3 games he didn't score. The past few games for Borussia Dortmund in the league hasn't scored, and he hasn't scored in both legs. He's quiet. Could there be something up? Like, I don't think he's lit up either game, but he's still a brilliant talent. But
so the thing about that, okay, so speed, strength, all that stuff, and technical gifts, they're there. Okay, so they're there. So I'm not worried about him rediscovering that form at some point. The issue, supposedly, with Erling Haaland, and it's kind of it's a manifestation of what Dortmund have as well. Dortmund are a team. They need team guys to do their thing. And with Haaland, a lot of his off-the-ball kind of measurables that don't fully benefit him, he's not doing anymore. So the pressure's on there. Him maybe running channels for people and offering and coming short and doing that extra work, chasing down centre-backs aren't happening so much anymore. There's a reason why Dortmund are 5th. There's a reason why they're 7 points off Frankfurt of all teams. Frankfurt, who sold Sebastian Haller and Luka Jovic that one season, who both had fantastic years and are still back up to that kind of level. So I think there's a disconnect there. It's why I think Dortmund are so willing to sell Haaland this summer over him going next summer. But it's also why I think there's no way he's going to cost 150. It'll be well below 100.
Yeah, but they can also they make more money selling them this season than the next season. But guys, let's move on. Also, congratulations to Man City.
Yeah.
Happy for them. Definitely deserved. I feel like them in the semi-finals it's just a better matchup. But let's talk about their opponents in this in the semi-final, and PSG will be their opponents, having a 1-0 loss to Bayern Munich, but it's a lot. It's one of their best losses ever because they go through to the semi-finals on away legs. But Jack, what another fantastic game, lots of drama. Tell me what you think. Not like the last game, but it was a fun game in a different way. But tell me what you thought about it.
Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting. Couple of things. I think it'll be things that we do talk about. First thing that really made me laugh was this great meme about, how guys who are watching the football have to try and explain to their girlfriend how PSG lose a game, draw an aggregate, but still win and still go through, and trying to have to explain that to people who don't know football, don't know the away goal rule, don't know the 2-leg system. Thought that was funny. Anyway, Neymar. Now, he's so much fun to watch. No one's disputing that. But he missed a lot of big chances. If Neymar was even slightly clinical, now I know one of those chances that hit the crossbar, kind of the corner of the crossbar, that's out of nowhere. That's not something he should score. He's just kind of pulled that out of his arse, right? But for me, we need to see Neymar making those goals, making those hits to elevate him up to the next level. A bunch of different companies that use certain stats and certain statistics to make up a general rating of a player had Neymar way down in kind of, I think I saw one company rated him as like a 5.9 match rating.
I seen that was just complete utter nonsense, and then they had Sane higher than him. Nonsense.
You say that, but as far as I'm concerned, all those kind of cleared chances he missed, there were some opportunities where he should have laid it off and should have played a pass to somebody in a better position. I love Neymar.
Neymar was the best player on the park by a good distance.
James, in terms of contribution to the game, he didn't do a great deal. There were lots and lots of opportunities. What was there to be had, he did not take. Now,
it was the whole freaking show.
He did
the whole freaking show.
But James, he missed all the opportunities that came his way, and there were certain opportunities where he should have given it to a player in a better position, which he messed up. I love watching Neymar play, but there's a certain part of the game where it's like, bro, pass the ball, make the easy finish, do something else.
To be fair, Neymar had 6 shots, which is a lot for a player. My thing about Neymar is that I don't think that he made the wrong decision to the point of view when to pass. Maybe one of the times when he should have laid it off to Mbappe, I'll give it to you. But it's just with Neymar, the weirdest thing about him is that when he's in front of the goal right now, it's poor execution. For a player of that much talent and the amount of goals that he's known to score lately, in the past 6 months, he just hasn't been the same in front of the goal. And that was the exact same thing. Do you remember the game against Atlanta where He's hitting the post. He's hitting the crossbar. It's just this close every single time.
He's a really, 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 really good version of an Adama Traore, right?
No, Jack. Don't say that about him.
Stop. Okay, did you even hear what I just said? How many reallys did I just put there?
Really, he is Neymar, not really good version of Adama Traore. No, I'm not.
I put like 8 reallys in front of that. You can't let me off for saying he's a really, 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 really good version of Adama Traore. Okay, James is salty that I'm comparing him to Adama Traore. But anyway, here's where I'm coming. Adama Traore has dribbling for days, beaten people, physical freak, all these things. He's a fantastic outlet. All of this stuff going for him. But there's no end product, and the decision making when it matters most is absolutely shocking. The reason why Kylian Mbappe is a better player than Neymar and a more important player than Neymar is because he has that edge to him. He can score the goal. There were 2 very, very, very questionable offside decisions, one of which I think was probably onside. And at the end of that play, Kylian Mbappe nearly tore the net off the goalpost because of his finish. I'm just saying, Neymar, it was exciting to watch, but a good game, I don't know if you can call it that.
Jack, are you saying Neymar doesn't have an end product?
James, in the game that we watched, I saw a bunch of shots, no goals, no assists.
Okay. I'm just saying, in 7 games of the Champions League this year, 6 goals, 3 assists. Add that up, bro. That's 9 goal contributions in 7 games. That's not really a guy that has no end product. Adama Traore didn't score a goal for.
But we're talking. But James, okay, you need to drop that, bro. You need to drop that.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? We have to. We have to move on. We have to move on to other things.
I said really good like 8 times, and you still laughed at me. Are you disrespecting Adama Traore now?
Yes, I am disrespecting Adama Traore because I think Adama Traore is an unbelievable player, but he's not Neymar. Even really, no. But we have to move on. Let's talk about the tie. I felt again if Neymar takes his chances, the game is done. But also on the other hand, Robert Lewandowski miss is so huge because I know you're a fan of Choupo-Moting, you don't mind him, but Jack, I know he scored the goal, but there's times when the ball will come into him and the ball just wouldn't stick.
Oh no, James, Choupo-Moting is trash. Choupo-Moting is trash.
This game would be completely out of sight if Robert Lewandowski was fit. Thomas Muller, I just look at the way he played. He was screaming for Robert Lewandowski. There was times when the ball would come to him, he would lay it off, and usually if Lewandowski's there, it's a finish, first time finish, or a turn, get out of space. It just didn't happen for him.
What did you make of the Dagba yellow card and then the lack of Koeman one-on-one with Dagba? That bothered me. If I'm a manager, now I don't have much coaching experience or manager experience. If Dagba, this young kid at fullback, who's like the 3rd or 4th choice fullback for PSG, and I've got Kingsley Coman, I'm saying to every player on the pitch, Kimmich, Alaba, whoever's in midfield, give the ball to Coman, run at Dagba, because that's a red card or a penalty waiting to happen.
I felt that was where Bayern were going to get their joy from. After the first 20, 30 minutes, they tried to put balls like over the top. It just didn't work for Thomas Muller and Choupo-Moting.
Right.
They were going to get their most success from getting the ball out wide. And I want to talk about out wide especially. Coleman was again hot and cold. Moments where he could have made the right decisions. Moments where he goes past his man. But just not a great ball. My biggest thing was Leroy Sané. And it was the weirdest performance I've ever seen. Because it wasn't like he was horrendous. But to me, he was horrendous. Because his end product times was, you talk about Neymar not having an end product. At least when Neymar gets into a certain position, he knows, like you've seen it in the first leg, he's picking out the right decision. He's, as you said in the first leg, Neymar made proper assist. Leroy Sané, there was the biggest one for me for Leroy Sané was when 90th minute, he cuts in, like he chops the play, he cuts inside, and I'm thinking, just roll it into your player. I think it was Thomas Muller, goal. And he goes for this weird left-footed shot that just rolls into Keylor Lava's hands. And I'm just thinking, like, what is going on with you? Here is a player that's meant to be so much talent, so much ability. Like Man City, you left Man City to show everyone that, oh, I have the potential to prove a point. But it just hasn't happened for him yet. And
There was some decent crosses where I feel like if Robert Lewandowski's in there, if you know Goretzka's in there, whatever, I feel like there were some really high quality cross deliveries, which if they're turning into goals, then we're talking about a 2-assist game. But I agree with you from a shooting perspective. I don't know what he's doing anymore.
But shooting and crossing perspective, I just like there was one in the first half where he cuts inside onto his left foot, and I'm thinking, okay, gonna bend it into the top corner, and it's just a tame shot into Keylor Navas, and it's a weird one for him because we can't talk about if he gets an end product. He's 25 years of age. This guy should be at the height of his powers. It has to come right now, and generally, if you ask Bayern Munich fans, hasn't been the most magical season for him. And to be fair, if Serge Gnabry was fit, he wouldn't be playing. But and another bit that I want to talk about just quickly on this Hansi Flick, this whole issue about him seemed like he's out at the end of the season. Why do you think it should happen? Do you think it's the right decision for Bayern Munich?
To me personally, James, I think he probably suffers a little bit from imposter syndrome, right? Which is he's come in, he's done a fantastic job at Bayern. Like, I'm not even trying to criticize the job he's done at Bayern, but he didn't work in the, Bundesliga 2 division, right? He didn't work for a mid-level Bundesliga team. He then worked up to Bayern. Like, he just kind of was caretaker, did a phenomenal job and got it. I think if there's any chance of him being Germany manager, he's probably looking around thinking, hey, I don't want to get found out here as a bad manager with Julian Nagelsmann potentially knocking on Karl-Heinz Rummenigge's door to be manager of Bayern Munich. So I think he just wants to take the opportunity. They've basically won the Bundesliga. They're out of the Champions League. I don't hate it. I'm not in love with it, but I don't hate it. I think good for him is my takeaway.
Yeah, I think getting the national job isn't too bad, but I just think Bayern, why would you let a man go of this caliber? It's not like they went out disgracefully against PSG. They lost on away goals, and if they had the world's best striker, if they had Leon Goretzka, Serge Gnabry, you think that they'll probably go through.
Let me ask you, if Mikel Arteta leaves Arsenal and Hansi Flick comes in to Arsenal, is that something you're happy and excited about?
Hell yes. Hansi Flick, I'm taking that in a heartbeat right now. Hansi Flick, come in. But
I think for me personally, I think there's a certain level of imposter syndrome. I wonder if he's up late at night thinking, oh my God, I'm riding my luck here. I just want to get the most that I can and get out of here,
Jack, his win percentage is 83%. I don't think there's luck.
Bayern Munich, James.
But he joined the Bayern Munich team who lost 5-1 to Frankfurt, and we're going absolutely nowhere. And he's coming there, won all 6 trophies, got knocked out by away goals, and you're saying he's riding his luck. How do you ride your luck then?
I'm just saying. I wonder if things start to get a little bumpy. I spoke about it in my video very briefly. David Alaba, Jerome Boateng, hype on Upamecano has gone down. Robert Lewandowski's getting older. Muller's getting older. I'm just saying, Bayern are usually very good at refreshing, but there's a little bit of an end of an era feel for this Bayern team right now.
Oh, end of an era, but I just think that Hansi Flick, like you win 6 trophies and it's not good enough in football. What is good enough anymore? But let's move on to the last part. Let's talk about Chelsea. Just a quick brief on them. Losing 2-1 to Porto, but still going through on away goals with obviously 2 goals, winning the tie 2-1. Jack, Chelsea in the semi-finals for the first time, I think, in 8 seasons. What do you think about this whole thing?
Great. Hey, good for them. I think that the Real Madrid game is going to be actually very interesting. I think they match up, and I think it's going to be a weird game. I really do. And I'd be interested to speak with Jed about it. I'm sure Jed's probably just brimming with confidence. Hazard's going to be back. Carvajal's going to be back. But, Tuchel knows what he's doing. It's never strictly pretty, but he does know what he's doing. The Porto goal was class. Let's just get out of the way. Absolutely taking.
Listen, we always talk about the Wayne Rooney, the Ronaldo, the Bale goals. This is us. Oh my goodness.
Right, and if it was a bigger name for a bigger team in a bigger match, we'd be talking about it for the rest of Champions League history. But it is for Porto. It's a guy who I couldn't tell you his first name, his age, which clubs he's been at before, all this kind of stuff. But anyway. Tuchel knew what this Chelsea team wanted. There are experienced players as a part of this Chelsea team who did what they needed to do. It was kind of a freak goal that they conceded, and that was the only goal they conceded over 2 ties. They got the 2 away goals that they needed. hey, good for Chelsea. They have the easiest run to the final if they get it. It does feel to me a little bit like when they won it, with that Ramirez goal and all that stuff from, what was that, 2013, was it? 2014 maybe?
Yeah.
It does give me a little bit of a feel like that. Obviously, there's one game that's going to be way bigger and way more competitive than the other game. But hey, fair play to Porto making it this far. Porto made it to the same length that Bayern Munich did and made it further than any other Italian team did. So kudos to them.
Chelsea through. I think it's this out of all the games, it's probably the one that people didn't were least excited to watch. But Chelsea go through. Very routine game. I think these are type of games a bit weird for a team after getting two-way goals. You're not sure what to do. Do you go for the kill or do you sit back and kind of just ride the wave?
James, was it at Stamford Bridge?
It was at Stamford Bridge, but no, it wasn't Stamford Bridge. Chelsea just it was somewhere in like
Sanchez Pizjuan. So it kind of wasn't even really a home fixture.
But at the end of the day, for Chelsea, they go through and like I look at where they were with Frank Lampard and like where they are now. I don't know what it is about this Chelsea team when it comes to sacking managers and then everything just turning around. But they're 2 games away from a Champions League final, Jack. That is huge.
How do you look at Frank Lampard now? Like, what's your opinion on Frank Lampard now that you've seen what Tuchel's done?
I just feel like the thing with Tuchel is that I think he's gotten players on side a bit more. Players that Frank Lampard are kind of like ostracized and kind of taken away from the team. He's brought them back in. Players like Rudiger, even bringing Kepa back in, Jorginho, a lot of players who haven't really lost their confidence in Frank. He's brought them in. But now, guys, comment down below. Tell me what you think about this. Please subscribe. Please hit that like button for us, guys. We know we've again a few times when high views, just not enough likes. So please appreciate by hitting that like button. Thank you for watching. This is Box to Box Football, and we will see you next time.